Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. Let's talk about leaky gut today, and we'll be talking about autoimmune, inflammatory processes, skin issues, all of these different things that come about from leaky gut. So, what is leaky gut, and where does it ultimately come from? Is what we're going to be starting with, and then we will be getting into things that you can do to actually improve that. So, welcome, F8 Well Centers. We are all about getting to the underlying root cause, figuring out why you've got this issue, why you have this weird eczema patch, why you've got psoriasis on your hands, why you have diverticulitis or Hashimoto's or MS, whatever your condition, whatever you're dealing with, we've got to figure out the why. And that's what we do every single day. So pop down below where you guys are watching from. Let me know what questions you have. Hey Nancy, good to see you. Let me know what questions you have in regards to leaky gut, in regards to what it can be contributing to and how to fix it. So I'm going to use the whiteboard today and give you guys some actionable steps, things that you can do right now, today, to start getting your health back. Hey Patricia, from United Kingdom, great to see you. How are things over in Europe there? So let's get into it. Leaky gut, we are talking about the small intestine lining. And the small intestine lining, it looks like this. It's got all these nooks and crannies. If you laid out our entire digestive tract, it would cover almost the entire tennis court. So if you're out playing tennis or pickleball, that entire tennis court would be covered with the surface area of our intestines, and primarily from that small intestine. So it goes mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and it's small because it's small around, but it's long, like 20 feet long. Large intestine, bigger around, and then it gets excreted out. Hey Carolyn there, good to see you in Washington. So when we look at the small intestine lining, it's got all these nooks and crannies and these little finger-like projections that are called villi and microvilli. You guys can't really see that. Let me make those bigger in there. So you've got all these little finger-like projections, and they're going to help absorb nutrients. In here, then, we have the bloodstream, and that is where the nutrients come in, but it's also where pathogens, so bad bacteria, yeast, things like that. Hey Patricia, you've got that diverticulitis. Yeah, so pay attention to things that I'm going to be talking about you can do with that diverticulitis. So we want to absorb nutrients, so we want our nutrients in there, but it can also be food allergens can come into that bloodstream. It can also be pathogens, bad bacteria, yeast, viruses, all types of yucky stuff can come in as well. So what happens with leaky gut is we can have this bigger gap where larger food particles and different things can get into that bloodstream, where normally they're broken down a lot smaller. Hey Lexi, is Candida associated with leaky gut? So here's the main things that are going to contribute to leaky gut. Antibiotic use. So if you've been on a lot of antibiotics, very good likelihood that you have leaky gut. Probably 15 years ago, I had 2 bullseye tick bites, and that's the telltale sign of what? That is Lyme disease, right? So I was like, I've worked on enough patients that have Lyme disease. I do not want Lyme disease. So I went on 3 months of antibiotics is what we ended up doing, and my gut will probably never be the same. So it can be the antibiotics. It can be food allergens. Food allergens can contribute to leaky gut, especially gluten, or if you have celiac disease, you have leaky gut. Dairy, corn, a lot of different food allergens can be irritating to that gut lining and cause that. And then pathogens is another one that is going to contribute to damaged gut lining. So that would be the Candida, that would be H. pylori, other bad bacteria, viruses, other types of yeast, all types of different things. Those pathogens can damage that gut lining as well. And then the other one is chronic or chronic stress or like a short-term major stressor can contribute to that. We know that that high cortisol is going to impair the gut lining healing and even lead to some damage there as well. So let's get into what leaky gut can cause. Leaky gut can be, it really is probably the number one driving force of autoimmune disease in the world. And if that gut lining is damaged, irritated, opens up at the wrong time, whatever reason we're getting things into the bloodstream too early, then our immune system gets overstimulated and it's responding, it's responding like we want it to. It's like, oh my gosh, we got to do stuff, but we can attack our own tissue at that same time as well. So great question, Lexi. So yes, Candida can definitely be part of that. So we'll see autoimmune conditions. So if you have autoimmune, 99% sure you have leaky gut. Hey, Carrie, good to see you there. You got some polyps. Yep, so polyps, let's go into, you can do these similar things that we're talking about if you have polyps, if you have diverticulitis, if you have IBS, if you have any of these different things. Stacy, good to see you there in Canada. So we are going over leaky gut and everything that it can cause, what it's from, all these different things. And Sherry, good to see you there in Nebraska as well. I'm going to be over in Scottsbluff in a couple of weeks. My 13-year-old, he's got a deer tag over there, so that'll be great. Okay, so here's what it can cause. It can cause inflammation if we've got leaky gut. It can cause autoimmune. It can cause brain fog. If you've got a skin issue, any type of rash, eczema, anything at all, you've got to start first in the gut. If you've got acne, any type of pimples, breakouts, anything like that, you've got to look at that leaky gut as well. So let's get into the 4 R's and write these down, guys, because this is very, very important for you to work on. The first one is going to be remove. So you're going to remove different things. You're going to remove bad bacteria, just like Lexi talked about, the Candida, yeast, viruses, H. pylori, all these different things. You want to remove the bad stuff. And so that is going to be looking at kill off. My favorite, Jessica, if you want to put a link for the well store there, we just updated our well store. All of our products, everything we use with our patients in program is on that website, and you can get to it very easily. The Oregano Max, the oil of oregano, is my favorite, Lexi, for dealing with yeast, candida, things like that. You want to do three times a day with that bottle. And then if you come back in with some probiotics, which we'll be talking about, but you want to start with the kill off first. So this is going to be the kill off. And then you want to remove also any potential food allergens. So when we start working on somebody's leaky gut, we actually put them on an autoimmune paleo diet. So you can Google that one, but it's basically no beans, no legumes, no nuts, no seeds, meat, vegetables, no eggs, no tomatoes. I mean, very, very limited, but calm that gut down as feasibly as possible. So you want to kill off, remove the bad stuff, and then you want to remove all of the potential food allergens. So gluten, corn, soy, dairy are the big ones in there as far as the food allergens. And then you want to replace any type of digestive aid that is not working like it's supposed to. So replace one, saliva. The way you do that is to chew. You want to chew 30 times per bite, and you're going to add saliva in. It's breaking down the food, doing a great job. In the stomach, if you're having reflux, indigestion, heartburn, upper bowel, bloating, gas, feels like you're pregnant up under the ribs, anything like that, you want to go in and you want to replace hydrochloric acid, betaine hydrochloride. So you would take one of those with your meals, 2 with a meal, 3 with a meal, and titrate up until you start feeling that burn, and then go back down 1. And then the next step is that liver and gallbladder. The liver kicks out bile, it's held in the gallbladder, and is released when we eat fats. If you have your gallbladder removed, then you need to be taking bile salts, especially when you're eating fatty foods. What are some foods then we can eat? So on that autoimmune paleo diet, Lexi, I'm assuming is what you're talking about, when we're removing all the bad stuff. So Google autoimmune paleo, and you can eat good quality meats, you can eat tons of vegetables, you can eat good fats, like avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, olives, things like that, but no eggs, no nuts, no seeds, no beans. We stay away from pork during that time, as well as any nightshades, so peppers, tomatoes, things like that. So lots of vegetables, lots of meat. You can do coconut milk, make like some curry dishes, things like that. You can do the coconut aminos. Some of those things are going to be good places to start, foundational pieces for that food. So you want to replace, so saliva, you want to chew. You want to replace HCl. You want to replace bile with bile salts if you don't have a gallbladder. And then in the small intestine, you want to replace enzymes. So if you're seeing undigested food in the stool, then you need some enzymes. So if you're seeing lettuce go through, things like that, you need enzymes. And then the last one, you want to make sure you're replacing fiber and for that large intestine and moving things through, especially people that have polyps and diverticulitis. Some of those things, you want to be getting enough fiber to move the food through. So fiber, that could be psyllium husk, that could be chia seeds, all types of different things. And then you want to re-inoculate. I'm not going to spill that one all out. Re-inoculate, and that's going to be after you remove the bad stuff, you bring in the good stuff. So you bring in probiotics. I'd love to have a variety of probiotics. Once you finish one bottle, you take another one, take another one. That's why we label ours. If you look at our well store, probiotic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just rotate through. After you're done with 1, you go to 2. But in this process, it depends on the person, but sometimes we have to do it 2 or 3 rounds of kill off and different things as well. And then after we re-inoculate, then we are going to repair, and we need to repair that gut lining. Just like if you're going to repair your skin, if you damage it on the outside, you're going to be putting vitamin E on there, you're going to be putting aloe vera, coconut oil, all types of things. Same thing in our gut. It's a barrier system. So glutamine, marshmallow root, aloe vera juice, zinc carnosine is another great one, bone broth, collagen, all of those are going to be great to start that repairing process. So these 4 R's are going to be crucial for you to start that healing process in your gut. If you've got any type of autoimmune, if you've got any type of inflammatory condition, your joints are achy all the time, your skin is bad, any of those things, I want you to absolutely go through this process. Hey, Karen, yes, the replay, it'll be up on YouTube as well. So, and then it should be on Facebook once we're done with the recording. So yes, Karen, we just went through the entire 4R process, everything you need to do to start reversing your inflammatory process and get your life back. So love you guys, really keep your body strong, do everything you can. We're inundated with toxins, with glyphosate, with bad water and bad air, and all these things. So every single day we've got to be focusing on how can we get our bodies as strong as possible. So how long does it take to heal leaky gut? Great question, Lexi. It can take up to 4 years for somebody. This is what the research shows, up to 4 years to start healing that leaky gut. But here's the deal. I've seen it in 3 or 4 months. I've had patients, they did a scope before starting care with us, and it was torn up, bleeding, raw, red, yucky in that small intestine. We did another scope at the end of care, and it's crystal clear, looks beautiful. Their GI doc was astounded. I never got a call from that doctor to hear what we did, but I know he was impressed. So thanks for the share there, Dawn, as well. Okay, guys, stay strong. If you need help, if you need support, click any of these links that Jessica put down below and schedule that discovery call. We would love to talk you through the process. My FA doctors are sitting here waiting to give you the health that you need back. We're going to do everything possible. It comes from the inside out, but we're going to give you every tool imaginable to get your life back. So love having you guys on. If you need anything at all, reach out, send us a DM, and look for Thursday. We'll have that live Q&A and just get cranking and get you guys your life back. Take care.